What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're taking a look at a couple more Star Wars action figures, and these are from the Black Series, and they are both characters from the movie Rogue One. And basically these are the two stars of that movie, Cassian Andor and Jyn Erso. And I only have like a handful of the Black Series figures from Rogue One. It's interesting because the wave of these figures actually showed up at a chain of stores called Five Below. So I actually paid only $5 for each of these. And so I was able to pick up these two and several other characters, including Director Krennic, which I previously reviewed on the channel. So this is the figure we're talking about here. So we're not going to discuss this figure too much in this video because I've already reviewed it. But I'll put a link in the description to the video where I cover Director Krennic. Also, I review in that particular video the Grand Admiral Thrawn figure. So pretty cool video. So if you want to check it out, there's a link in the description. But what we're going to talk about today are Cassian and Jyn. And I really love these characters. And I am excited for the upcoming Andor series, which is going to cover a lot more background information about Cassian. And show, how he became involved with the rebellion, and hopefully give a little bit more backstory. We get a little bit of backstory about him. Apparently, he'd been involved with the rebellion for a very long time by the time we see him in the events of Rogue One. So, and of course, both these figures, spoiler alert, they both die in the movie. So everything that we see about Cassian is going to be prior to the events of Rogue One. And I don't think necessarily we're going to see Jyn Erso in the Andor series because these two, as far as I know, never met prior to the events of that movie. So, but the figures are really cool, and these are in the older style boxes. I kind of like this style box. They basically store much better than the newer figures because they are completely rectangular, whereas the newer style figures actually has an angle on one side. So I don't really care for that particular style of packaging. It looks good, but in terms of actually storing these things away, I prefer the older style boxes. I just think they're a little bit more straightforward. Black Series figures tend to be kind of lackluster in terms of the graphics on the packaging. It's all kind of basic. So you get sort of an image of the character, and you also get a brief write-up here on Cassian Andor. And the rest of it's pretty much just black and red packaging. So not too much to talk about there. And I will be getting both these out of the package, so stay tuned to later in the video for that. And here you can see what Jyn Erso looks like in the package. And again, the packaging, kind of lackluster. I do like the graphics, but it's all very kind of subdued. So you don't really get too much in terms of kind of exciting graphics on these figures. But I think they look really cool in the package, but I'm actually anxious to get these out. So let's go ahead and get them out of the package so we can take a look at them up close. Okay, so we got these figures out of the package now, and I think they look fantastic. And we'll start over here with Cassian Andor. And as you can see, there's a lot of really nice detail on this figure. I think it looks pretty amazing. And his outfit is kind of reminiscent of the kind of clothing that was worn by the rebels on the planet Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back. So that is kind of a nice throwback to the original trilogy. So that's pretty cool. And it should be noted that this hat is removable. So that's not affixed to his head. So yeah, that's actually an item that you can remove. And then you get a sort of just clean version of Cassian in there. So that looks pretty cool. And it does kind of look like the actor as well. So Diego Luna, who plays Cassian. And you'll notice this rifle, he can hold it with both hands. So that's kind of a cool feature. So that's one of the weapons that he comes with. And he also comes with a regular blaster as well. So I can show you what that looks like. I have it in the holster at his side. So you can see that fits in there. And then you can remove it. And then you can put it in his hand as well. So yeah, two different weapons for Cassian. As you can see, he can hold the blaster in his hand. So that looks very cool. And we'll go over the articulation on this figure as well. At the head, there's a sort of hinge joint back and forth, so you can see he can look down quite a bit and look back a little bit. And there's also a pivot joint there. There doesn't seem to be any side-to-side tilt, but he has a decent range of motion in terms of being able to move that head around. So not too bad. And then at the shoulder, he can extend out. Also gets 360-degree rotation there. At the elbow, there's a rotation there and also bending back and forth like this. At the wrist, there's a pivot joint there and also bending back and forth like this. So good range of motion there. At the waist, he gets side to side, front and back, and also twist. At the hip, he can kick out, but not too far, just because he's sort of restricted by his outfit a little bit. There's also a thigh rotation joint there in the upper leg. And then at the knee, there's a double joint, so you can see he can extend very far back. There's also back and forth at the ankle, and also the ankle rocker. So you can see side to side motion there. So very good articulation on this, and I think it looks pretty good in terms of all the sculpting and everything. Yeah, pretty cool looking figure. And then over here on Jyn Erso, you can see they did a pretty good job on the head sculpt. I think it pretty much looks like the character. And this little sort of hood wrap kind of thing is removable as well. You can take that off, so you can see what that head sculpt looks like with their head wrap removed. So pretty cool looking likeness on that, so I like that a lot. And she comes with a blaster as well, and that'll fit in her hand, and it also will fit in this holster that's at her hip. You can see right here. So you just got to insert that in there and then clip it into place. So I do like the fact that these Black Series figures usually have these holsters that are workable, so you can actually stow away the weapons when they're not being used. So, and really like the detail on Jyn's outfit too. They put a lot of detail into the back of her sort of vest, so I think that looks very cool. And we'll go over the articulation on this figure as well. So she gets back and forth at the head, also pivot, and a little bit of side-to-side tilt as well. So fairly good range of motion there. At the shoulder, she can extend out. Also gets 360-degree rotation. She gets a rotation at the elbow and also back and forth extending out at the elbow. At the wrist, she gets a rotation there and also bending back and forth, as you can see, like this. So good articulation there. So she's got a joint at the mid-torso, so you can see it gives her the ability to sort of go side to side, front and back a little bit, and also pivot. At the hip, she can kick out, kick forward, kick back. She also gets a thigh rotation, as you can see there. And then at the knee, she can bend way back. It's a double joint there at the knee. And then at the ankle, she can bend very far back like this. And also there's a pivot joint just at the boot cut right here. So you can see that pivots there. And there's also the ankle rocker, side to side at the foot. So very good range of motion. Yeah, I really like these Black Series in terms of the ability to pose them. So they're usually pretty good in terms of versatility on being able to get them into lots of different poses. So looks really great, and very happy to have this in my collection. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And like I mentioned, I'm very excited for the Andor series. Seeing Cassian's involvement with the rebellion should be pretty interesting, so I will be tuning in week after week to check out that show. And if you'd like to see more coverage of Star Wars action figures in the future, think about subscribing to my channel, because I will be covering more of this stuff in future videos. Until next time, I hope you're having a great day, and may the Force be with you. Thanks for watching.